The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Tsuburaya Productions.
Ginza! Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to this review, which number I don't know. But welcome to Kamen Rider Fourze.
Kamen Rider Fourze.
It's been a long time coming. Some people know my thoughts on this show, but I will definitely say that after rewatching it again, because I watched this while this was airing. This is when I came into Rider.
This is episode 73.
73. My thoughts have definitely changed, and I think they went the way of Magic Ranger, which they changed for the more positive.
Okay.
So
nice.
But let's get started. This is the 40th
Before we begin, Matt is not joining us here today because his niece is having a birthday. So he's off celebrating with her.
She's turning 1, I believe. So yeah. But yeah, episode 73, Kamen Rider Fourze.
If we're wrong, Matt, correct us in the comments.
Age ain't... No, we're not R. Kelly. He wrote that song. Age ain't nothing but a number. He gave us clues. But...
I'm calling the police.
Anyway, this is the 40th anniversary show.
This is the 40th anniversary of the Kamen Rider franchise.
Yes, even though they just did the
40th anniversary movie.
Yeah.
With O's, Deno, All Riders, Let's Go Kamen Riders.
Yeah.
But now we have Fourze.
Yes. And I wasn't around, because I came in, I remember rewatching this show, and I was like, I remember coming into this episode, because I came into Kamen Rider just as a whole at episode 20 of this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going back, a couple weeks and reading some of the things. We were not excited because he looked so different from any other rider, especially with the rocket head.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to structure this like our key review. So we got the good, the bad, and the terror bad. Let's start with, you know what? Let's end on a good note today.
Okay, you want to go Terabad first?
Yeah, let's go Terabad first. Jacob, you have thoughts?
It's once again it comes down to structure. This is early shades of Wizard.
This is just Wizard.
Every single episode, 2-parter, and you can watch the entire show skipping every other episode.
I felt the exact same way.
You can skip every other episode because you get that recap. Hey, here's what you missed. And we get all that we get the bull crap that I hated in Wizard so much, where you have this inconsistency in how powerful he is. You have the monster getting away for no reason. And when they introduce in that, I think it's in the second episode, when they introduce I forget what it's called, but where the monster is on its last leg.
Oh, and last one?
Last one, where the victim gets covered in Party City cobwebs. And they fall to the ground unconscious. Because we can't actually hurt any of these kids. I hate that. I hate that so much.
And this is the problem I had with, later on we end up getting the horoscopes, which sort of give us the reason why I moved to the second episode, because they always come to save it, and they do have a reason for doing that later in the series.
There is a reason for doing that, but it comes in too late.
Yeah.
This show is very, very victim of the weak heavy for the most part, and that is a problem.
Yeah.
And once again, we're focusing a little too much on it's not as bad as it is in Wizard, where every episode was like, hey, here's this random character, you'll never see them again. I'll give Fourze this. Every victim has some sort of payoff, especially in the movie.
Oh! We'll talk about that later.
We'll get to when we get to that review. That'll be next week. But yeah, this is a huge problem I have with this show.
The structure is not good. It really hurts this show. Although you can sort of argue that it gives them more time to really get in touch with the main cast, but at the same time, it works against it because of that fact. Especially if you don't like all of the main cast. One character, really. Sort of two, but not so much in the second one. I'll go for the minor one first. JK is a J-O-K-E.
Or Jake, as he likes to be
He's
pronounced.
Annoying.
He's, I had a problem with a lot of these.
The Kamen Rider Club members?
I had a problem with a lot of them. One of my biggest problems with this show is that it never seems to shut up.
Yeah.
This show is extremely loud, extremely noisy. It's very much high energy, in your face all the time.
Which we get why it was like that.
I do. I understand that. I've come to the conclusion that I respect this show a lot more than I like it.
Mm.
And I will also say this show isn't getting out of here without a recommendation. I would still recommend this show to people.
You know what here's the thing. When I originally watched Fourze, I did not like it because I came in with it, yeah, but I didn't watch it first. I watched Decade.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that more because it was more cynical in its approach. And then I went back and watched basically all the Heisei Phase 1 riders. So it was like coming into this show is a lot more positive, but it's also semi-unrealistic because of that fact, and which can work to its detriment. The biggest problem I have with the show legitimately ends up with the character, and that character is Yuki.
She
up.
Pretty much embodies what it was I was just talking about. Every scene she's in, she's always screaming. She's always loud. She's always doing something very big, either physically or vocally. And I feel like that's the show in a nutshell. There's barely any moments throughout the show where they can just breathe and let us soak in what's going on.
Yeah.
No, this show is extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
Just like Gentaro.
And, well, no, because Gentaro's a special case. It's really just Yuki. She's the one who, like you said, is constantly loud and doesn't really give anything to the situation. She is, for me, the worst thing about this show. I can
totally understand why.
And it's weird because, like, at the beginning, for like the first 6 or so episodes, she's fine. But after that, it ramps and it doesn't stop.
It ramps and it doesn't ever let up.
And that's why she joined a cult.
I didn't know if we were going to talk about this, but yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah,
her actress retired from acting to join a cult.
And then came back into acting under that cult's, like, directing acting company.
You know, every time I see something about this, like people joining cults and stuff, I'm like, have we learned nothing?
It's like they don't learn anything. The whole reason...
When has anything good ever come out of this?
Nothing. The whole reason the whole O-Ranger thing happened was because of a cult.
Yeah.
So stop joining cults. Like, I'm really surprised that Japan isn't one of those countries where as soon as they see this popping up, China's like this. But as soon as they see like a cult or just like some really niche religion popped up that has some sketchy things about it, they go in and kill it. So I'm really surprised.
This is happening a lot in Japan, though.
Yeah.
It happens a lot there, especially recently.
Yeah.
They seem to be popping up a lot.
You really think that they would do something to stop this, but they don't. And I'm just like, this is the one thing one of those things that China's doing right. Y'all might want to do the same thing. So, not to the extent that China's doing some things with certain Muslim areas, but in other places.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the bad.
Is there anything else Terabad you want to talk about? Because I got one. It's the theme song. I hate this song so much.
I will say this. I like the bridge.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah. And
I like it, but I'll give you that.
When they use it, and this is better as an insert song.
I don't like it as an insert song either.
There are some cases where I'm just like...
This song just annoys the hell out of me.
I think the thing that really just ruins the song is that first verse. Because her voice is super nasally. It's like all up in here the entire time. And I'm just like, stop. But other than that, I'm just like, it exists. I skip it. It's especially when you're bending it, most likely you're not going to end up doing anything with the opening.
Mm-hmm.
The bad. I'm not the biggest fan of the Fourze suit. There are some things I really like about it. But my biggest issue, and we talked about this before, because I have the same problem with Dry Formula.
Okay.
Magnet States.
Magnet States is not good, but I love all the other ones. I even love his base form.
We'll talk about that when we get to the good.
I'll talk more about that when we get to the good. Okay, but I can definitely see, like, just looking at it, I didn't like it at first. One of the things that also put me off was the eyebrows.
He always looks super surprised.
He always looks surprised and excited, but that's kind of the show in a nutshell.
It does have the bug eyes, but the only reason those look like eyebrows because the antennas and the fact that the helmet goes up so far.
Mm.
If it didn't do that, it wouldn't be as much of an issue. Some other bad things.
For me, the villains.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the villains.
Mm.
The Zodiarts.
The Zodiarts are the horoscopes.
I'm gonna say both.
Because
I didn't think both were used either effectively well.
There are some...
Now, the horoscopes, that's like the principal on everyone, right?
Oh, you mean Garen.
Is that the actor?
Yeah.
He also played Garen.
Yep.
Okay.
And the stage, and like one of the little net shows that they had, I think it was during Superhero Tyson.
Yep.
They made fun of that. So, yeah, but...
I didn't think they were a very effective villain organization. They weren't very intimidating or interesting. He wants to, like, the principal wants to gather up all the...
Right, the presenters.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a concept.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
Yeah, he's like, I want to get... It's kind of Lovecraftian in a way, because you have these ethereal cosmic beings that may or may not exist that he wants to go meet through some sort of space portal, which he will do upon gathering the switches that he needs. His method of gathering the switches just never seemed right for me.
How so?
It's something about the way that he's constantly giving them. They're constantly giving the switches out to people, but then they're turning into monsters. But then they're trying to get them to turn into different monsters, and then they're trying to get them to turn into even more powerful monsters. And it just seems to escalate and never really get anywhere.
Yeah. That's a major issue.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. Another thing that more straddles the Terabad to bad line,
mm-hmm.
Cosmic itself is fine. The way that if a friendship is broken, it doesn't work anymore is stupid.
That's stupid.
Like, I understand. It's a lot of the point of the show, but it should never be tied into something that could possibly be broken as soon as someone says, I'm not your friend anymore. Which happens.
Yeah. That's the thing.
It's actual trash.
And it's dumb.
It's actual trash. It's very dumb. And I'm just like, this is the thing that should not have happened. No one should have allowed this to happen. Why are you allowing this to happen? Stop.
I'll give him this, though. It didn't happen that much.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have happened.
But it shouldn't have happened in the first place because it was a dumb idea.
Yeah.
That being said, the idea that all of the friendships that he's been building up throughout this entire season are what fuels his final form, that I like.
Let's talk.
That's not a bad idea in and of itself. I do have one more bad thing that I want to talk about.
What's that?
Getting back to the show's relentless optimism and in-your-face attitude, I really just don't think I'm on the right wavelength to enjoy a show like this. I'm serious. It really comes down to, for those of you who don't know, I deal with depression. It was really bad when I was watching this show, and I don't think I was quite in the right mindset to be watching it.
Weirdly enough, I was on the opposite spectrum.
Okay.
I have anxiety, and dealing with something like, for some reason, me watching the show, dealing with that, really took me out of it and took me to a much more positive place. And I don't know why it helped me as much this time. I still don't really like the show per se, but there are things I do really like in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like seeing, not Yuki, but Genshiro's relentless positivity.
Yeah.
Like, just made it that much better.
I don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with this show and its positivity. It's just for me
at the time.
For me, the excessiveness of it all was just a little much.
Yeah.
And even when I watched this show in college and it wasn't as bad then, it was still much. It was still a lot. The suits.
Yeah.
I love so many of these suits.
I really like base.
I love the base form. I love that it looks like a rocket and an astronaut suit. The big orange eyes, like the orange, black, and white is just they go really nicely together.
Electfire and Cosmic.
Electfire and Cosmic look great. Magnet, like we said, that's not good, but hey.
Meteor looks great.
Meteor looks pretty darn good.
That's
the thing we haven't talked about yet is the secondary rider.
Right, we haven't talked about Ryusei. It's weird that his I'm infiltrating this team went on for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think it also worked. Like, I didn't hate it or anything.
Did you like how it paid off?
Yeah.
With him killing Gentaro?
Yeah.
With him straight up murdering him with a death punch to the heart?
Thank you, 1-Inch Punches. Because he is Bruce Lee. And probably, like, my favorite character to play in Batroid War Genesis. But yeah, Ryusei himself as Meteor is just great. He appears at the end of Mega Max for the first time. This is where they started doing the secondary writer appears. I really, really like Gentaro himself.
Okay.
Not just because he's incredibly handsome, but I really just love the way his actor. Gentaro himself is just a beacon of positivity that really helped me during the past couple weeks when the anxiety flared something fierce. I loved Gentaro and just him. I love the fact that he wanted to make friends with everybody in the school except for that one guy who did not deserve it, and Gentaro says that. Yeah. It was the guy who tried to kill all those girls on the bus. Yeah. And Gentaro went, you know what? No.
You know what? I'm good.
Yeah. I like Shun and I like Miu.
Yes.
I really like their...
I like them. I thought Kengo was alright, even if he was kind of a dick.
And that's something we should have put in the bad category. The fact that he died and came back immediately.
He did? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I almost forgot that. I would put that in Terabad. That is in Terabad for me. The fact that he dies and you have this huge emotional scene that goes on for a really long time where they're saying goodbye to him and they're mourning his loss.
It's double all over again.
And then in the, end credit, and then after they beat the final bad guy, it's like credits are rolling, we're saying, and then just boom, he shows up and there's no, it's just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, you just got back from the store.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like when Robo Knight showed up in Super Mega Force after he died. He shows up and they're like, oh, hey, Robo Knight, what's up? He died! Shouldn't you be a little more... I wanted to see his... I have no problem with you bringing him back. They should have treated it with the same level that they did his departure. Yeah. It should have been the same way.
That's one of those really terrible things that it's just like, this one feels like W Part 2. And then 2, it didn't.
I would say this is even worse than W.
Yeah. Yeah, it just didn't work at all. But let's see. What are some other the monster designs?
Yes, I wanted to mention this. The monster designs are amazing in this show. Yeah. They get so creative with the monsters in this show.
It's like they took the Orphanox and gave them color.
They colored the Orphanox. Yeah. That's a great way to put it. They really are, they're hyper detailed. Each one is unique. They're interesting to look at. They're kind of scary. And they make good use of the colors. They make good use of the constellation theme. Oh my God, yeah, the monsters in this show are some of the best.
They're glorious. This is also the first time in this show, we're going to talk about this more during the movie, of course, but this is the first time in this show that they actually brought the movie exclusive form into the show itself. Yeah. With Rocket.
Rocket Stage shows up a couple of times.
I really like Rocket Stage, by the way. We'll talk about that more in
I like it too.
Mega Max, but I really like Rocket States. What are some other... Oh, I don't like the Kamen Rider Girls song Saite that they play during the graduation in the middle and at the end. Okay. But the ending of this show is so goddamn good. Besides Kango. But that
You're talking about the whole graduation ceremony, right?
Where they graduate from the...
I think the ending of the show is a great example where it's more about the idea of what's happening than the logic of what's happening. This is a case where that really trumps that because he's fighting the final boss unhenching and he's winning when he couldn't do it with Cosmic earlier. But it's more about the idea of them graduating from himself and accepting their feelings. And graduating from Gamma. Gentaro, the way he's presenting himself as he is, just raw, this is me. And I think that was done extremely well. It was very well acted.
And just like all of them telling Gamo Sagittarius, the
Yes.
main bad guy,
Yes.
what he has meant to them
Mm-hmm.
throughout this entire show and the things that he has done for them in their school.
Mm-hmm.
It was so emotional.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here just like, I don't like this song, but damn it if it is
Very
good.
well acted, very well staged, and yeah, he beats him with a rider kick in his base form. But again, the idea behind it, and it's staged and executed so well that it works.
Yeah.
This is the complete opposite of what happens next season, where he just rider kicks the main bad guy apropos of nothing in his base form with a ring that he pulled from the ass dimension.
From the ass dimension.
Yes.
It smells terrible there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, there are some things, oh god. I like Ryusei's motivation for why he was doing, Meteor's motivation for why he was doing things, with the Aries Zodiacs being so important to getting his friend back.
Mm-hmm.
It was, one, he got that, and you know, his story ends a little bit, but then he has that whole thing with Leo and beating him, which he does, and I was completely here for that. Speaking of which, this show has quite a bit of out-of-suit fights. It does. And I like that. I like out-of-suit fighting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially because, you know, both Ryusei and Gentaro's, their actors are actually, you know...
It's always nice to actually see the actors doing their own thing.
Yeah,
it
makes this a lot better. I really, really like things about this show.
I really like the chemistry between the cast.
Even if Yuki is there.
Even if the characters aren't always the greatest, the actual chemistry and performances gel well together. And that works really well. Everyone feels like they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Which is something you can't say for a lot of shows with a lot of supporting casts.
Yeah.
Especially ones this big.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everyone...
Even the teacher, Osugi.
Even the teacher, he serves with his suspenders. He serves a purpose.
And we just saw him again recently in Zio.
Oh,
and Jake.
Okay.
I love it. But yeah, we just saw, you know, the two of them again. And we saw Gentaro last year and his actual actor, so Fukushi, in Heisei Generation's Final. So there are really a lot of good things that come from this show, and I just end up appreciating this show a lot more the second time around. It's like I made this comparison to Jacob before we started. It's like, and you all, Magic Ranger is that show that I did not like so much on first viewing, and then I watched it again and I was like, this is amazing.
Right.
This show does not meet that same level, but there are things that I really appreciated more the second time around.
Another thing that I love about this show is the intentions behind it. I want to give a shout out to Lost in Tokusatsu, good YouTube channel. Check it out. He has a video called I believe it's What Happens When Real World Events Affect Tokusatsu. And in that, he talked about Fourze, and I didn't know this the first time I watched it.
The 2011 earthquake?
Yeah, the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami affected the production of this show. Originally, this show was going to be pretty different in conception. It was going to be more like Decade. You have the Kamen Rider Club going out and meeting other past Kamen Riders and helping them with their problems. It was a little too similar to Decade, but then because of as a result of the earthquake and tsunami... I forget who it was, whether it was a producer, showrunner, or whatever, decided, I want to make a show that makes people smile.
And I think...
I want a character that can be positive even in the darkest of situations, and I want to make a show that reflects positivity and youth and the future and, you know, like space looking to the future.
And I think we talked about this during the Gokaiger review because, you know, this happened around the same time. Gokaiger was a little bit into production. I think about 10 or 15 episodes had already come in. And this is when, I can't remember who started it, but the Twitter page for all the past Sentai actors started. And then they all started like getting on. It's like, I really want to be in the show. Can I be in the show?
Yeah.
And that's why like you had so many cameos after Gokai Silver showed up. You had so many cameos of past Sentai actors coming in and just showing, you know, we're still fighting for you. We're still here. And always believe that you can go forward. And
absolutely.
That's the whole reason that both Gokaiger and Fourze did like they did. And I really just...
And I think it was all for the better.
Yeah, it really was. It made both shows... all of Gokaiger, at least in our opinion, more so better.
Yeah. But like I said, I have a lot of problems with Fourze. It's not something I don't think I'd ever see myself watching again, but I would definitely recommend this show.
Yeah. Now, next time. Oh.
What? What?
I think I'm getting delusional.
What is it?
We're doing Akibaranger seasons 1 and 2 next time.
Ah, yes.
That was a great
Yay.
segment.
Watch out for that tree.
Yeah, episode 74 will be Akibaranger seasons 1 and 2. I'm so excited.
I know you are.
I'm more excited to watch season 1 because that was the better of the two.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to just watch this again. So join us next time. Let us know what you think about Akibaranger in the comments below. Actually, while we're doing that,
Let us know what you think about Fourze as well.
actually, we have that from last time. Matthew Brignac says, I thought Fourze was okay. It had its moments that could be pretty fun at times. My favorite moment was when Meteor 1-inch punched Fourze. Also, I do want to thank everybody for their birthday wishes over the past week.
Yes.
That's been great to hear. I'm very happy to get that from you all. It means a lot. The Redhead Revolution, Fourze was my second Kamen Rider series. It helped me after the unfortunate passing of my grandmother 3 years before. I realize it's not the greatest show in the world, but it will always hold a special place in my heart for helping me believe in the goodness of people again.
That's great. Alex Gonzalez, Fourze was a very fun season. The mix of comedy and also the dark parts really worked. Also, this was the first Kamen Rider season that made me cry.
Lucham Sci-Fi. Fourze was great, and the secondary characters actually did stuff. The fact that it was written by the guy who wrote Gurren Lagann was something.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I can kind of see that.
For the last one, Yoshifan X. Do you want to read this at the bottom?
Sure. Let's see. I loved Fourze coming off of W, the only other show I've completed. I dug the mystery elements. Who was the switcher? Gentaro is cheesy and kind of dumb, but I love him. The supporting cast is all useful, minus maybe Yuki.
They get me.
And while I think it's absurd him beating Gamo untransformed pre-rider kick and then doing the friendship handshake with him was freaking awesome.
The friendship handshake was everything in this show.
Issues. He thought the secret identity thing was way too long. We did touch on that. The presenters, yeah, not a fan either. And the less about the show and the more about Gentaro's actor, Zio. Sad they double billed Fourze's tribute.
Oh, yeah, because they double billed it in Zio with the Fires episode. And we're unable to get Gentaro back. That's not anything that they could do. Gentaro is Sota Fukushi is extremely popular and extremely busy. It's like Ryoma Takeuchi. Baba was Maha. But yeah, let us know what you think about Fourze in the comments below. We'll be reading those, here. And then let us also know what you think about Akibaranger season 1 and 2. It'll be a fun time. I'm ready to get delusional. Bye, everybody.
Bye.